Like pixels on a screen, these are the games of our lives. All right, welcome back to the Games of Our Lives. This is episode 22. This week I'm joined once again by Michael. My name is Chris. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great, Chris. You know, it's really feeling the Columbus Day spirit.
Yeah, we got October baseballs going on. My New York Mets are on game 3 of the division series. Not that anybody out there really cares.
Oh, can we say I can easily spend the next 25 minutes talking about that BS Utley slide? If you wanna,
Oh
we can
my
just
god.
switch tact.
I have not seen it just because it looked brutal, but for anybody who didn't see it and possibly who cares, a guy in quote unquote accidentally overslid second base during a double play and broke the second baseman's leg.
It's
Just
a dirty play.
straight up.
Oh, but wait. All right, I'm just. This really is going to turn into a sports podcast. The crazy thing is, he never touched the bag. He went to the dugout and then called him safe.
Yeah, it's a whole mess of bullshit.
It's everyone's favorite part of sports committee meetings.
Yay! Anyway, let's get right down to it. From all sources that I've heard, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 is a burning pile of hot, sweaty garbage, and I'm really sad about that.
I would say, carefully chose your words there.
Yeah, I've heard it described as a sadness factory full of nightmares. Basically, It's not good.
So you're saying GameSpot would only give it an 8.5 out of 10?
Possibly. I mean, it's functional. I mean, grain of salt, I've not played it, but pretty much everybody whose opinion I trust and people who really care about the series have likened it to a complete aberration.
So you can ollie, but they forgot to put in the nollie.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff in there that is not true to the name that they gave it. I could go into it, but I mean, there's a lot better coverage out there for that.
Well, I remember you said something about they were going to lose the license at the end of the year.
Right. So Activision had a 10-year deal with Mr. Hawk for the licensing, and that expires at the end of this year. So, I mean, if you want to put on your tinfoil hat, you could say that Activision is burning the franchise such that whoever wants to try again in a couple years will be at a severe disadvantage.
I mean, you might be mistaking greed for malice there, I think.
That's true. I mean,
I think it was more likely they didn't want to make a bad game. They just wanted to make money. And this was like, oh, hey, maybe there's like a wave of nostalgia from 8 years ago.
That's true. And there definitely was some excitement leading up to the release of the game. Because, you know, between Tony Hawk 4 and now, there have been some real stinkers in there. So I mean, I was certainly looking forward to there being a good Tony Hawk game coming out, but doesn't seem like that's the case. So
I guess we can only look forward to the funny glitch videos that will eventually come out.
Yeah, it's certainly not at the level of EA's Skate, but there's some pretty bad stuff in there. But I mean, like, apart from the bugginess and the lack of content variety, like, the feel of the game is just very off from what it should be. And like, it feels cheap. It feels like they didn't put a lot of money into it. And that, you know, that's not necessarily the developer's fault. They probably did the best they could with what they had access to from Activision. But you know, it certainly doesn't feel like a $60 game. It certainly doesn't look like one either. And that kind of is the nail in the coffin there. I mean, talking about value in games is kind of rough, but it's certainly not worth 60.
I would say, especially in the age of microtransactions, the DLC above the $60 games.
I doubt that they will be doing any continuing content for this.
Oh man, dead on arrival.
I think they just sort of were like, well, we gotta squeeze one out, or we want to squeeze one out before the
That was a
licensing
careful choice of
deal,
words.
before the licensing deal ends. So use this leftover money to make it, and just put it out there, and we'll be done with it. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Well, didn't that happen? I think that happened with the movies. Someone they made a Fantastic Four movie because they were going to lose the license if they didn't release a movie in X amount of years.
Yeah, that they do that with so like. But my understanding of that is that Marvel sold some of its properties to Sony, and upon the contingency that they have to make X number of movies in a certain time frame, or Marvel regains the properties. So Sony is trying to keep stuff away from Disney now, essentially, by making
So just keep relaunching Spider-Man.
yeah by making more Spider-Man movies and all that stuff. But yes, so in the absence of a good Tony Hawk game that has come out, I have been rebooting up Tony Hawk 3 and 4 on my PlayStation, and man, those games are really fun.
That's end of podcast.
Yeah, I've never met anybody who plays video games who does not like those games. So
No, that's true. It's kind of tough to describe. It just kind of scratches the itch.
yeah, so they're well made. They are, I mean, they're easy to pick back up again. I sort of fell right back into the old groove. Yeah, just
I kind of liked the I think what was it? Was it 2 that they added grinding?
no, they had grinding in
Not grinding.
1.
I'm sorry. What's the one where you just grind along the ground?
Manuals.
Like a flat grind. Yeah, where they added manuals. And I think it's all about scratching the edge. I think it was the like almost the way you used to go for high scores. You could do that now for Tony Hawk, where you could just keep manualing until you're not even moving anymore. It's just sad. But you're like, no, must get multipliers.
Oh yeah, no, the progression of those first 4 games was pretty amazing. And sadly, not all of that stuff made it into the new game, which is weird.
Well, the good news is, if this was 12 years ago, I don't even know when the first ones came out. 10 years ago, maybe?
PlayStation 1 era.
Yeah. Then you could be duped by a bad game. You could just be like, oh, well, it's got this name on it. I better go buy it. And I feel like that's less likely now. There's just too many news sources in your face.
Yeah, I guess the educated public, and I guess, that's why you often see like games that developers aren't necessarily proud of don't necessarily get a lot of pre-release coverage.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. So Mike, what have you been? Nope.
No, you know what? Now that we're on the topic of since we're on the topic of franchises that were way overexposed and ran into the ground 6 years ago, I made the plunge and I bought Rock Band 4.
There you go. Welcome back to Plastic Instruments.
Oh man, I don't know why I left. Oh wait, I know exactly why I left.
Yeah, your Xbox died.
Oh yeah, that's true. But no, so I had to. This was a very involved purchase. It meant I had to buy an Xbox, an Xbone, thanks to the cross compatibility. Basically, the DLC works in the family, so I wouldn't be able to play that stuff I bought on the 360 on the PS4.
Right. How much of your DLC is in the current game?
You know what? Well, all right. Here's the thing. So the launch is kind of a mess. Not to the point of an irredeemable mess, but it's just there are so many things wrong with it. Basically, the worst thing is, and this is probably, I'm going to assume it's Microsoft's fault. You can't do a batch download, so I can't just go to my purchase history and just download everything.
Right.
So I have to search Rock Band 4. And it's not even highlighted whether or not I own it. I just have to go, did I buy this song? I click on it, and it'll say purchase or install. And then I'll have to hit install. And I have to do that for every song. And it's hundreds of songs at this point.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, so I mean, I just don't feel like doing it. I mean, I just I had it open and I'm like, I'm Googling it. And I'm like, well, I must just not find the option. Obviously, they can't do this as a solution. But sure enough, you go to the Rock Band forum and they're very apologetic, the harmonics people, and they're like, this is the only thing we can do because of how the Microsoft Store is set up. You have to search Rock Band 4, go to added content, and then there's a and it's funny because you'll see the UI, and the UI, the Xbox interface is really not designed to list thousands of things simultaneously.
Right.
So you're just scrolling forever across the same logo, Rock Band 4 logo. So I just, you know what? I've played the game. It's fun. It's Rock Band. They didn't forget how Rock Band worked. I do have that very nice drum kit that is not compatible with the Xbox One. And I mean, there's a lot of like internet rage. Who knows how much actually that is, right? Versus who's vocal,
right?
But basically, if you do not, you can buy the band in the box, which is I think 250. Or if you have a Rock Band 2 or 3 wireless drum kit, you can buy a legacy adapter, which there is an ad. You can it's basically it's like I think it's $70, maybe $80. It would be that, the game, and the legacy adapter, and then you can use your old wireless instruments.
Right.
So it's just kind of great. You can use your old instruments, but you gotta get more crap to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly,
I understand. I mean, and this
cheaper
is
than buying
thing.
New ones.
Oh, definitely. And this is another thing where it's probably not Harmonix's fault. Apparently, Xbox changed how their wireless controllers work.
Right. So yeah,
I mean,
now
Xbox,
I believe now it's Bluetooth versus wireless.
Right. So I mean, your 360 controller won't work with an Xbox One. It certainly isn't a new problem.
Right.
So basically, I have a very fun game that I can hook up one guitar to. I did buy the guitar kit, mostly because it had the auto calibrate.
Okay.
For some reason, even though I'm pretty good at Rock Band, maybe embarrassingly good. Like obviously, you shouldn't be that good at that game without actually knowing an instrument. Like I do not. But I can't calibrate for the life of me. I just they're telling you to follow the drum clicks and or the strumming, and I'm always off. So
maybe that's why you're so good, is because you have no rhythm.
Oh man, I guess these guilty feet, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. So I can say, hey, the game's good. But it's just there's just so much messed up stuff. I don't really have that urge to load it up and just go through re-downloading everything. So I'm kind of hoping that they'll just figure this out, but who knows?
That's a shame.
Yeah, I did buy the and we can say this is another one, but I did buy the Forza kit, the Forza 360, and that's a very fun game. So I'm not too torn up about it.
Yeah, now you're welcome to the next gen.
I was gonna say it's probably way too long to be calling it next gen.
Right. I mean, they're over almost 2 years old now, so
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no. Rock Band 4, it's good that they are. I think the most appealing thing about that thing is that they're basically trying to keep all of the old DLC there, because I mean it was a lot of stuff. Making that transfer is a very good, well purchase. I hope that they sort of work out the UI issues with that. And if you want to get your drum kit working, I've heard that you should be contacting Axiom to get firmware updates.
Oh, interesting. Axiom?
Whoever makes it, basically.
Oh, okay. No, I'll check it out, because they basically, I mean, you can email their support team and say, hey, because I'd be interested in buying, even if it was like a converter kit.
Right.
I'd be willing to buy a converter kit for it, but they just don't know if the demand's out there. So I signed an internet petition. What more could I do, Chris?
Exactly.
Nothing.
You could try rewiring it yourself, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, no, I saw that on Reddit. You can cannibalize the wireless kit and basically put the wireless brain in the wired drum kit.
Wow.
And I mean, I'm an electrical engineer, and I was looking at the diagrams thinking, like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Well, I mean, warranty is voided immediately.
Oh, it's probably too late for that anyway.
Right. 5, 6 years old now.
Yeah. beat like literally it's a product you beat the shit out of with sticks. And then
Right.
it's like, hey, I want to return this. It's it's a little worn down. Oh, did you beat it with sticks? Yeah.
I have not booted up Rock Band in a very long time.
No,
So
I only drove it to church on Sundays.
yeah, right. I have a Guitar Hero World Tour guitar for Xbox and a wireless drum kit.
Oh,
They
so
were
there you
all
go.
compatible back in the
I will
day.
say I bought a so I bought the guitar set with the game. It did not come with the legacy adapter.
Right, because
And
it's
basically
probably the new guitar, right?
right. So I actually went to a GameStop, which I
Ooh.
haven't been to a GameStop for a while. I know, exotic. They had no idea what I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Rock Band 4 isn't even on display in the one I was in. And
Weird.
it's funny because I remember the heyday where like half the store would be
Right.
those
I
pants
mean,
boxes.
you would think that they would be all over getting more physical goods in their
I don't
store.
know. I mean, I haven't obviously I said I have not been in a GameStop in a while. But I think they bought that Funko company
Right?
that makes those figurines. So about half of GameStop now is toys,
Oof.
which is fine. You know what? I mean, it's most of the games I buy now are digital anyway.
Right.
So if they want to turn into just like a general nerd store, that's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, they got to diversify.
Yeah, no, it's not ridiculous.
So, Michael, you got anything on the horizon? Anything you're looking forward to?
No, nothing. Damn it, I'm sorry. I actually had something I totally forgot. I'm probably blanking on it. Dead air. Okay. No, I really don't have anything. I'm trying to think because I've been. It's funny you mentioned that. I've been on a crazy game kick for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I went back. I played Stanley's Parable.
Ooh.
No, it's not Stanley. It's Stanley Parable.
The Stanley Parable.
The Stanley. So I believe that's
Well, yeah.
it.
The guy that made that game has a follow up, but has another game that released last week called The Beginner's Guide.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, it's the same developer. It's a very similar style game. It's a very introspective look about game development. This time from like a designer's perspective instead of a player perspective.
Oh, how meta.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's not a sequel to that? I'm trying to remember what that mobile game where you make video games that was
Game
pretty
Dev
popular.
Tycoon.
That's it. Yes. Where you literally work your game developers 24/7.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? I guess it is exactly like that game.
Right. Yeah.
No, I don't really have anything I'm particularly looking forward to. How about anything? How about you?
Well, let's see. So we're entering the holiday season. Today's Canadian Thanksgiving, so that's the official kickoff of the holiday season.
Oh, Mazel Tov.
Yeah. So, video games are going to be coming out. I mean, Fallout 4 next month, Just Cause 3 December. But a couple of games got release dates announced, games that I've been following for a while. The Witness, which is a Fallout game from Jonathan Blow, who made Braid, and Firewatch, which is a Gone Home like exploration adventure game. They'll be coming out in February of 2016. So I'm looking forward to those games in particular.
Is Firewatch actually by the team that made Gone Home, or just similar in terms of you walk around and
similarly themed, similarly styled?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that was a great game.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, anything in the news?
Well, let's see. So since we last spoke about the SAG-AFTRA strike resolution, the union has authorized a strike. So that's on the table now when they go negotiate with the publishers for voiceover work.
I wonder what is there even a picket line?
Well, there's no I mean, they're not striking now. The vote was to basically authorize a strike in the event that negotiations didn't work out.
Right, it's basically they're giving their union head the authority to go ahead and do it. So it's a threat.
It's on the table. And according to the votes, it was something like 97% of the union voted yes.
That's a good sign for them, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So you
well,
start missing
solidarity,
paychecks. Yeah.
right? And apart from that, I don't know that I can't remember if we talked about this, but there was a pre-order campaign for the new Deus Ex game that Square Enix was running, where the more pre-orders that they received, the more pre-order bonuses they made available. Kind of like a stretch goals for pre-orders. Sounds heinous, right?
I was gonna say it's not what kind of bonuses were they? Were they all like in-game stuff?
There was like some cosmetic stuff. There was like a comic book or a book, a novella, um, that sort of thing, like an art book, a digital art book. But like the final tier was, hey, we'll release the game 4 days early.
Oh, that's kind of interesting, actually.
So they're doing all this stuff to try and boost their pre-orders, which I mean already pre-orders are kind of a mess. And particularly pre-order bonuses are kind of rough because there's just so much crap in all of that stuff that's generally very useless and is also available after the game's released. So this whole thing, it was not received well. So Square Enix has canceled the program, thankfully.
Does that mean if you did pre-order, it gets canceled? I mean,
No.
I'm sure the people who actually did pre-order, I'm sure actually want the game.
Yeah, I mean, you have to assume that, but it's the So what they had decided was, or what they had announced was that they're not doing the tiers anymore. They're just going to do all of the pre-order content, no matter what, and give it to anybody who pre-orders it.
Oh, okay. So that's not that bad on them then.
No, I think the interesting part of that is the pre-order ness of video games, where everybody's sort of pushing for that pre-order. But I mean, there have been more games that have come out in an incredibly broken state. That how can you like be pushing for pre-orders when, like, as a consumer, it's not a very good deal. Like, the game could be utter shit when it comes out, and I've spent the money in advance. You've gotten my money already.
No, it's true.
And yeah, the game's not even out yet.
It could be. And this was from the corporate hive mind at GameStop. They wanted you to pre-order, and the corporate line is that so they can know how many to print.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't really
definitely
care.
Like, I know back in the day, pre-ordering was important because when most people got their games from a GameStop, they would only ship as many as there were pre-orders, plus a couple extra for the release. So pre-ordering actually was a guarantee of a physical copy of a game the day it was released.
I remember having these like really faded little receipts for $5 pre-orders in my wallet and trying to remember, like, oh crap, what was this for?
Yeah, like, it was, kind of a necessary evil back in the day, because the way that GameStop ran their supply chain, it's possible you would not get a copy of the game for a while. And, as sort of Best Buy and Target and these big box stores moved in, that sort of became less of an issue. And now that we're in the more digital future.
Yeah, it's unlikely a game you can't download.
Right. The only benefit to pre-ordering is you don't have to buy it the day of. Like, really, that's the only true benefit of pre-ordering, is that you can, if it's a digital game, you can probably pre-download it and play it right away. That's about it.
Do you remember the last game you pre-ordered?
Oh
man, I'm straining. I'm trying to remember. It might have been, no, it wasn't. I was thinking I did buy the collector's edition of the Grand Theft Auto 4. I don't think I pre-ordered it. I know, I liked the lockbox. I'm weird.
I think the last one that I pre-ordered was BioShock Infinite, but I didn't pre-order it so much as bought it on Steam a day before it came out
Oh, just to download it, just to download the files.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And when
that's not that weird.
and they
I mean,
were
like physical pre-order.
right. And the deal that they were running was if you did that, you got a free copy of XCOM and Portal.
I remember that was a good deal.
Yeah, but the last physical pre-order was probably a World of Warcraft expansion collector's edition.
Oh, okay, I think mine was Max Payne 3.
Wow.
I know. I have a weird weakness to Max Payne. I can't explain it.
Did you like that game?
I did. I liked it. It wasn't that good, but I liked it. I enjoy the ridiculous, over the top noir like voiceovers. I don't know, for some reason I just enjoy them. Like in most media, like if I saw a movie like that, I'd be like, this is stupid. But for some reason, when it's in a Max Payne game, I'm like, this is wonderful.
It's the interactivity that's critical.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. It's just I understand why most people wouldn't like those games, except for Max Payne 1. Max Payne 1 was pretty good just overall. But yeah, I've always been a Max Payne fanboy. Oh, but the movie was so bad.
Oh God.
I'm not gonna defend the movie.
Yeah, I just want to forget about the movie. I've never seen it, but just the fact that it exists kind of bothers me.
Oh, but you should Cinemanauts it then.
I don't know, man.
You'd enjoy it from that perspective.
That seems rough.
It is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
all right.
So
anything else on the docket, Chris?
No, I think we've covered just about everything. It's been fun talking to you, Michael.
Yeah, always good catching up.
Yeah.
It's the busy season coming up soon.
Right. The video games times are coming.
Do you plan on getting Fallout 4 at release?
I might wait a little bit. I mean, I've got so many other games on my plate that it's just going to be there waiting.
Yeah, first world problems. I'm the same way.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor, spread us around. That's the only way that we can grow the audience. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in about 2 weeks on the Games of Our Lives.
But I think I'm good to go.
All right, we'll make it work.
Good work. That was the worst Tim gun. I'm sorry.
I didn't even know you were trying.
You know what? I started and then I stopped.
Wow. We might have to go to the slow motion replay on that to find the point where you stopped, because I couldn't tell.
Make it work, designers. Oh, now it's just offensive. Now I've made myself feel sad.
It's good energy to lead into the show with.
Good offensive, stereotypical energy.